Hey there, how's it going? For the 5th year in a row, hundreds of game devs challenged themselves to make a game in 10 days. However, unlike a typical game jam, these devs needed to make a game with a mechanical focus as well as a theme. This year, the focus was racing, and the theme was escape. Participants worked from November 8th to the 18th, and when the dust had settled, 113 new playable experiences had been created. After a week of community voting, I played the top 50 games to share with you some of my favorites. Before we begin, I want to give a huge thank you to Retro Indie Josh and the 8 Bits to Infinity community for partnering with me again this year. They run the jam. I get to be the pretty face and pick the theme, but they do all the hard work, and I want to recognize that and give my appreciation. Without them, VimJams would not happen, so thank you for another fantastic jam. Retro Indie Josh is posting a video announcing the winners for the Diversifier challenges. A link to that will be in the description. Check it out. Alright, let's get to what you're here for. First, we'll take a look at the community vote winners from each category. Then I want to share some more games that I think did something interesting or are worth checking out. Keep in mind that I can only feature so many games and it was tough to cut it down. So please check out the Jam submission page to see all the games that were submitted and play some awesome stuff for yourself. Links to the featured games, as well as the full Jam page, are in the description. Our judging is broken up into 6 categories, and this year they were dominated by 2 games, with a third sneaking in for one of the categories.
Bringing it in with the gossip.
Taking first place overall, as well as the X Factor, graphics and animation, and music and sound categories, as well as using all 3 diversifiers. Motor Saddles by Macro, Deshiyu, Blanket the Almighty, and Fox Hayot takes a straightforward concept and polishes it to a shine. With fantastic 4-color pixel art, you play as a horse on a motorcycle, racing to escape the police. Playing like a rhythm game, you need to click when the nodes reach the line. Missing one will result in the cops bumping you until you're out of health and they end your run. It seems super simple, but it's really easy to lose your focus and completely mess up your rhythm. The game really digs into that push your luck feel, and you keep wanting to try again for a higher score. Everything about the game is so well executed, and it's a blast to play. How far can you make it before you get caught? Veggie Run by Patrick, Nistas, and Kamakota took first place in the fun and design and technical categories, as well as 3rd overall. In this game, you play as a farmer growing vegetables for secret illegal underground veggie racing. When race day comes around, you need to bet on the outcome. Your goal is to win enough money to escape your debt by the end of the month. But before you can pay it off, you also need to use your winnings to buy seeds for faster veggies, as well as fertilizers to increase their stats while they grow. Unfortunately, like all vegetables, they don't have a long shelf life, so you can't just grow a good one and keep using it. Do you think you have what it takes to be a farmer in the tough world of veggie racing? Our focus and theme winner is Rabbit Carrot Gun by Finn, Bazoo, and Sputnik Zero. Something has happened and carrots are mutating into angry monsters. You control your bunny's path by placing delicious carrots in front of it, which will make it change lanes to eat that carrot. But you need to watch out because there's already carrots on the path that will distract your bunny, causing it to go places you may not want. Any carrots that are not eaten and go off the back of the screen will mutate into monsters and start chasing you. Collect coins so you can buy upgrades to your abilities in the shop, and take out as many mutant carrots as you can. Can you escape the carrots and keep your rabbit alive? Those are our category winners, voted by the participants themselves. Congratulations to the community vote winners. To add extra challenge in the jam, we had 3 optional diversifiers: 4-color, animal characters, and mouse-only controls. I can't believe how many games, including some of the ones we just looked at, use some or all 3 with fantastic results. My favorite thing about a game jam is seeing all the ways different people interpret the same prompts and limitations. So as we check out more games, keep an eye out for how these talented designers use those restrictions to create fun and engaging experiences. Taking 2nd place overall was Arcane Beak by R. Gallard, which used all 3 diversifiers to make a twin-stick shooter with no sticks. You use the right mouse button to select where you move to, and the left mouse button to shoot. Collect upgrades and defeat enemies to gather enough energy to open the level exit portal. You need to make it through all 4 stages to escape the maze and achieve victory. It has fun upgrades and unique enemies. This is just an all-around solid game, with great art, sound, and gameplay, and really feels like something that could have been released on a retro console. Chain Chess by Electrified Games is probably the game I played the most. I legit have gone back to do runs of this game a few times already since the jam. It's chess, but with a pretty big twist. Choosing your starting piece is used as a difficulty select. Each room you need to remove the opponent's pieces from the board by following standard chess movement and capture rules. The trick is, your turn involves your starting piece as well as all other pieces you've captured this room. So while you have one piece, you move, then the enemies. But if you capture a piece, you move, become your next piece, then move again. This can set you up for some awesome chain capture movements. But it also can get you stuck, forcing you to move into harm's way. It's a great puzzle game where you need to make it through all 8 rooms before the timer runs out. It really is a fantastic concept and you should definitely check it out. Keyword by Chickwitch turns your entire keyboard into controls and the playfield. This movement puzzle game gives you a set number of moves to travel across the keyboard to hit target letters, all while avoiding enemies that are moving each turn as well. Once you hit the final letter, you begin the race against the clock to make it to the escape key and finish the level. Type your way through progressively tougher puzzles to make your ultimate escape. In Disaster Cart by Dankenstein and Wob Wob Rob, choose your animal racer and escape the water, snow, and lava. The addition of the rearview mirror to show you the danger is phenomenal and adds a great sense of urgency to each race. Placing in the top 3 will give you points to spend on better attributes, allowing you to make it through more courses. Each round the danger moves faster and faster, so it's important to upgrade and find the best lines through the level before it's too late. With the mouse-only diversifier, I was excited to see how people would create racing controls. And having the player object move towards the mouse was not uncommon, but one of my favorites was Chase Dash by Kasu, who added in a right-click ability to drift, and a speed-up boost that kicks in at the end of that drift. The goal is to escape the police and make it to the end of the level as fast as you can. The addition of an online leaderboard really adds to the desire to replay levels to gain a better spot in the standings. The game is simple to play, but hard to master if you really want to shave down your time. Car racing was a very common game type for this jam, of course, and several games took some interesting twists to not just be a normal racer. But Escape the Crash by Maxivatop, EV Geek, and OneHop takes it to a whole different level. In this chaotic mass of cars, you are able to click on a car near you to enter that car and gain minimal control over it. The cars move automatically. However, when you control a car, you can use its special ability once, and slightly affect its turning. The goal is to survive to the end of the track by jumping from car to car to avoid getting stuck or destroyed. It's random and complete chaos in all the best ways, and a really interesting take on a racing game where the goal isn't really to win, but to survive all the way to the end. A movement mechanic I've always enjoyed is the auto-running character that bounces off of walls, where you have to control when they jump to progress. 2 games from the jam with this idea stood out to me. Usually I only pick one game to feature in this situation, but I really enjoyed both, so let's take a look at each. Rat Attack by Bean has you climbing an endless level, avoiding other rats, spikes, saws, and toxic water. You're equipped with a double jump, a dash, and 3 health to make it as far as you can. The art is adorable, and learning the best ways to tackle each of the different sections that appear is super engaging. You can also grab the chili pepper for a little bit of extra boost. Similarly, The Floor is Poisoned by Any Feature Left has you using a jetpack with limited fuel to rise through the level. Your jetpack gets refilled when you touch the floor or a sidewall, so timing your use is really important because it takes a second to regain your upward momentum once you start using it. Hitting the underside of a platform will not refill your jetpack and most likely result in an acid bath. It's a super simple concept, but I found myself super engaged and playing over and over again to get the highest score I could. Fling mechanics were also a great way to move characters, and the adorable Froglet Frenzy by Dakai uses it wonderfully with some great pixel art. You play as a frog escaping various large creatures. The game is fast-paced, and trying to get the right angle and timing to land on a moving leaf can be really tough, but it feels so good when you successfully jump your way to the pond at the end of each level. Great polish, the right amount of challenge, and super adorable. Guiding the player character through an obstacle course was also another popular mechanic, where you need to avoid dangers and escape before the timer runs out. Chasing Cheddar by Scuba and Venus takes that concept, adds adorable graphics, and unique controls to make a great escape game. The mouse moves towards your cursor, but it needs to be within a certain range, adding some precision to guiding it to all the cheese before the hole. On top of the speedrunning timer, you also need to avoid the cat, which will chase you through each level. And it feels super good that if you're fast enough, you can escape the level before the cat becomes a problem. I'm a sucker for a good endless runner-like mechanic, and Dream Dash by Cereal Box is a really fun Geometry Dash inspired game that adds a glide to your control abilities, making for some unique movement. With great polish and fun level design, the game will really suck you in as you navigate through each challenge. It's really not the most unique in terms of style and gameplay, but it's executed so well and it's a lot of fun to play through. Beachfront Rescue by Leo Severini is a game that starts out pretty simple and easy, but gets crazy and difficult by the end. You need to guide newborn baby turtles to the ocean by clicking on them and giving them a direction to follow. However, they will get distracted and turn as they go, so you need to keep an eye on them and keep reminding them of which direction they need to follow. You also need to make sure that the directions don't lead them towards any crabs or sharks which will eat them. You have the ability to click the sharks to make them turn around, and you can click on the crabs, which will call down seagulls to eat them instead. Each wave you must save more and more turtles until you can't save enough. How many turtles can you save? And those are my top games I wanted to share from VimJam 5. But before we finish up, I want to quickly go through a few more games that almost made the list and I think you should also check out. Rat Strats is a simple timed puzzle game that has you controlling many rats to complete challenges. Echoes of the Aztec Beast is a simple WarioWare style game that has some of the best cutscene artwork I've seen in a jam. Raiders of the Golden Bait uses the place item to guide character mechanic and really ramps it up as you progress. And finally, Shadow Steps is an adorable stealth game that is fun and tough at the same time. And that's gonna do it for the VimJam 5 showcase. All of the games I played for the Jam were amazing, and I'm so grateful that everyone took the time out of their busy lives to participate. I love seeing the community come together to make games and leave feedback, so we can all have fun and grow as game makers. Thank you again to Retro Indie Josh and 8bits to Infinity for running the Jam. This is only possible because of them. 8bits to Infinity runs jams every other month. Links to their site and Discord are in the description below. And I'd like to give one more thank you to my amazing Patreon supporters, especially my video producer and above tier patrons like Matzi, Nazar Salim, Pixelator Gadzi, and Warren Stephen Rose. You're all wonderful, and I truly appreciate the continued support. And that will do it for the 5th annual VimJam. I'm still amazed and humbled that people are excited for the Jam every year. Please keep making awesome things, and I will talk with you next time. Have a good one. Later.